to Esme since she had gained a whole shitload of my undying respect from the gym incident.
Oh.
She replied, trying to sound surprised, even though I fucking knew better.
I've never seen you two together,
she said. Though it was more of a question as to why. And I wanted to groan again as I slightly halted the strokes on my girl's cheek. I resumed rubbing, deciding to be evasive. People rarely do. It wasn't a lie. And knowing that she wouldn't just drop it at that, I decided that her face was clean enough for examination. Done, I said as I put the soiled towel down on the bed beside her and turned to Carlisle. He craned his neck to get a good look at her face.
Bella, are you having any trouble breathing from your nose?
He asked. She visibly breathed in deeply through her nose and shook her head. He nodded, still craning his neck and looking like he was just fucking itching to get his hands on her to see better.
Edward, try touching the bridge with your fingers. Look for any signs of crunching or crackling.
I gazed into my girl's eyes apologetically, because I knew it would hurt, and lifted my hand to feel her nose. She winced as I touched it, and so did I, but I kept going, knowing it had to be done. She persevered as I prodded her nose, clenching her fists around the fabric of her hoodie. Nothing, I declared, finding no crunching or any of that other gross shit, then reached down to take her hand that was fisted into her hoodie, stroking it lovingly in apology for all the prodding before looking back to Carlisle. Carlisle nodded in relief.
Are you having any trouble with your sight, Bella?
He asked. She shook her head immediately, looking into my eyes with a smile dancing at her little lips. I fought to hold mine back.
She should be fine. I could always x-ray to be sure.
He turned to Esme uncertainly.
No.
Bella rasped, shaking her head.
No hospitals,
she pleaded, shifting her gaze behind me to Esme. She must have agreed because Bella relaxed, while Carlisle wrote out a prescription for pain. With a little more discussion on proper care, we were finally fucking ready to leave. I helped my girl down from the bed, steadying her as she swayed a bit from her exhaustion. I think Carlisle started gaining everyone's attention as we turned to him. He was standing at the door with his hand resting on the knob.
When we get home, the four of us should have a little discussion.
He made a pointed glance at Bella and me, and I wanted to fucking groan again. But he didn't look upset or anything, just merely curious. And curiosity killed the Edward. Esme nodded in agreement, while Brandon looked downtrodden that she wasn't to be included. I bit back a smirk and nodded back at Carlisle, leading my girl out the doors and to Esme's car. I opened the door for her, showing them all that I could be a fucking gentleman. I resisted the urge to sniff indignantly at the looks I got when I did it. Jez just fucking snickered as he made his way to the Volvo. Once she was in the seat, I leaned in, not really giving a shit, and gave her a soft kiss on her cheek. She leaned her little head back against the seat and smiled radiantly at me with droopy eyes.